All right. Well, hello, everybody who will hopefully soon be here. Welcome to the show. It's Labor Day weekend, various conspiracies. Hi, Elderberry. Good to see you. So it's kind of an open chat thing. I said a lot of stuff yesterday. If any of you guys have any questions about the documents or stuff that I posted or shared with you, that'd be awesome. If you have any other questions or conspiracies you'd like to talk about, this is supposed to be for fun tonight. Yeah, I did a lot of serious talking yesterday. Just come in from fishing. Nice. Did you catch a couple big ones or what? Elderberry's on dinner. Or dinner's on elderberry. So yeah, this is nothing too serious. Don't know where it'll go, but hey, one big one? Nice. That's good. Glad to hear it. Here's always a subject that's been rolling around in my head. Pretty big subject, right? God. You know, God is a pretty big subject. What people think God is, who people think God is. A lot of people call themselves God. In some respects, I think they're right. In some respects, I think they're overstepping. But I don't know how to say that. But a lot of interesting theories out there on God, the Creator, God the Destroyer, manifesting reality. Do we manifest reality? I don't know. I suppose if we do, that puts us closer to God. I don't know how much exactly influence we have over that. It's kind of a slippery subject. The divine goddesses, nice. I bet you have. A lot of princesses out there too, eh? Right? So I'm just going to pretty much chill and smoke and contemplate some things, I guess, There's so many things going on, the whole Harris distraction. So many conspiracies too, especially in the spiritual world too, the spiritual realm. The whole Christ consciousness. You've got flat Earth, round Earth. God, every point of contention. Smoking one too, cool. Is it all to keep us divided? Hi, Chloe. I don't know if it is or not. Seems like it is. There's always, I don't know. It seems to me like in all of these things, there's one underlying truth. Well, many truths, but for each individual thing, they distract you, right, from truths. They put all kinds of thoughts in your head. Hi, Naga. Good to see you. I wonder what it would have been like to have mankind thinking and speaking with one voice. Would that be, would we even, is that like the individual isn't even existing? I don't know. like in Babylon when they, I think it was they all spoke with one voice and one mind. And yeah, does that mean that they were not really individuals? I don't know. I think they were, but hi, Karen. Good to see you. Yeah, go fishing with elderberry there. That'd be cool. That's right, Karen. This is a puff, pass, and smooches day. Puff, puff, pass. Any conspiracies you guys been focused on? You know, I've been focused on the wireless, on the internet. So that kind of takes up a lot of my time. I do catch a lot of the stuff going by, the Harris stuff and all that. But it takes a lot of my time to come up with new content about the wireless and stuff. So don't really focus on politics too much. Try not to, anyways. Again, if anyone wants to come up and have a calm chat, I'm trying to keep it pretty chill tonight. Meg always likes to talk. Yeah, I was use those types of backgrounds. This one's from, let's see, who is this from? Is this Meditative Mind? Yeah, it's from Meditative Mind. I use them a lot. This is 369. Let's take a look here. Nikola Tesla 369 code, healing power of 369 hertz. Secrets of the universe. That's the root chakra. So, yeah, it's supposed to be very calming on us. So, glad you like it. I didn't create it. I thank you to the people at Meditative Mind. They help us learn remote viewing. Had issues last night. Had to rest the router. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of computers were overrunning yesterday. You don't want to look up those things. The computer people don't like it. I will be sharing all those documents that I shared last night. I shared today. I went over to Charles' channel, Wounded Warrior there, and where Charles was, and shared those documents there. He had them, but they all got somehow deleted. Same thing happened to some of the copies or some of the links that Lucky had last night. They just disappeared. His search, I think he said his search got deleted, all of his searches. You got a chest full of spare parts? That could be good, could be bad, Karen. You got stuff rattling around in your chest that might not be good. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. Much love. Yeah, I rolled myself a whole bunch of smokes, so I'm probably just going to chain smoke for a little while. I haven't done a lot of real deep dive into this stuff about what Donald Trump's done to us here. But it pretty much explains it pretty well. The Spectrum give Americans access to the greatest 5G network in the world. So they're announced that 100 megahertz coast to coast is available. So American industry will be able to build, operate 5G networks nationwide using 3.45 and 355 gigahertz band. And that makes no sense, right? How can you run a 5G network off of 3G? Well, they do it. They do it. It's just the 5G is running through you. So it's not a long range communication. So 5,000 megahertz spectrum. Just reading little bits of this. Protecting our future. Oh my God. Yeah. You're going to try to control our future. Nation's first cyber strategy for 15 years, which includes facilitating the evolution of security. Well, we all know about cybersecurity. There we are. President Trump signed the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Act, helping equip our nation in confronting the full range of cyber threats. Yeah, so that includes running it through you for cybersecurity. Hi, Naga. How you doing? So yeah, even though Trump's going to come in, he's going to give you cheap fuel. Maybe lower the price of some things. He's still signing all this into being 5G. He's putting up the grid around you, you know. A little of both, yeah. You're on mute if you're saying anything there, Naga. Maybe some technical issues. I don't know if I can do anything. Nope. Okay. The Ghost of Stacy. Alina, nice to meet you. Actually stuck underwater with many alien pods, bases, vehicles, etc. Yeah, the idea of space being water is a really cool one. I think it's possible. We could be just existing in a bubble, like just a bubble in water.
Like Atlantis, like a snow globe.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Like the end of Krampus, where the movie Krampus, where they show all these different little neighborhoods or whatever in their own separate little snow globes.
I didn't see that, so I'll have to take your word for it. Hi, Tony.
Yeah, it was a weird ass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much love and respect. Salute, Max. And the sister. I don't know her name.
Integrity.
Integrity. Yeah, much love.
Much love.
Good to see you, Nega.
Yeah. I think the concept, of the shape of what we live on is kind of a distraction. It's like the fishes, in the ocean trying to figure out the shape of the ocean. When the ocean itself, is kind of.
Hi, Charles.
Yeah,
It is almost like it really doesn't serve much of a purpose, does it? Except to maybe prove that we're being lied to or that we're being deceived or something. But it doesn't really. It's not going to change my day-to-day life in any way, whether it's flat or round. Like nothing would change, right?
It's not exactly. They're arguing over stupid shit that doesn't even freaking matter.
Yeah,
we're on a plane, whether that's flat or round.
It's interesting. I find it interesting, but it won't change my life one iota, whether it's round or flat.
Exactly.
Same with Mandela effect. There's a lot of things out there, like the Mandela effect. That wouldn't change my life one bit, if it were.
Well, when Mandela happens, something does change,
Well,
but
but would you notice
it
it, right? Really?
if it doesn't happen to you personally, it's not going to affect your life.
Yeah.
But it happens to me continuously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a pretty candle holder that I was cleaning up to give to Mike's daughter last night
Oh,
for
yeah, fine.
today. And when he brought it home to me, it was rose pink.
Hmm.
And when I cleaned it to give it to her, it was orange. The fuck?
You got some weird acidy body or something changing the fat.
No, it just sat on a shelf with a friggin' tea light in it. That's all.
Hmm.
It
Well,
gathered a little dust. I cleaned it off. Nothing should have turned it from rose. It's
life
expensive.
majorly.
It's expensive rose quartz. So it was no little bauble that I gave her. And just wiping a little layer of dust off of it shouldn't have changed its color at all.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Mike couldn't believe his eyes either.
Yeah. You never know. Some materials react funny with different conditions, so never know. Could be moisture or something. Some
I
change in.
know, but it used to was pink, pink
Yeah.
in color, and now it's orange.
Hmm. Weird. I know sunlight will change the color of things, but
But things like that happen all the time. That's just
yeah,
one example. Yeah,
it's just weirdness.
yeah, weird.
So Charles says, knowing where I am changed my life majorly. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Uh, depends on your focus.
I don't think it changes anything if we're on a flat plane or a globe. I
Well, for
mean,
some people it might. Like for Charles it might. Like
um,
I said, the Mandela effect. Like even if I saw a Mandela effect myself, I
mhm.
don't think it would change my life because it wouldn't be a focus for me, right?
When you really look at it, we're trying to figure out, certain things, just to accuse these people of lying to us. You know,
Yeah,
we're trying to
that
figure out if the Earth is
it
flat.
does serve that purpose.
Just so we can
that
say, oh, they've been
changes.
lying to us about the shape of the
That
Earth.
that does change me though. That knowing that I'm being lied to pisses me off to no fucking end. I cannot stand being lied to by anyone ever. I
Well,
that changes me.
yeah.
That changes my life. That changes my emotions. That changes everything for me. Yeah.
Well, see, Charles, now where I am doesn't have anything to do with who I am, so that doesn't change my purpose at all. Um,
Yeah, meaning that I agree. I agree with that.
you know,
You know,
it might change a little bit of my well, it would change my thinking on what we're on. That's about it. Uh,
Yeah.
I would just deal with it. It wouldn't blow my mind or anything. Uh, you know, I already assume I'm being lied to pretty much on every level, so why not? Yeah.
Well,
Just
yeah.
another
Well,
one. It's
that's
just another one, right? You know,
yeah. Well,
for somebody who
picture.
doesn't realize that they're being lied to, maybe for sure coming across that as their first experience, that could be mind blowing. It depends on your perspective from it, right? Like my perspective isn't going to be the same as somebody else's.
No, you're a Virgo. I'm a Leo. I get mad.
Yeah,
I get irate.
I try to figure it out. It's a puzzle.
Oh, I figure it out. And the more I figure out, the pisser I get.
Yeah, I get those little excitement bits out of it, out of figuring out their little tricks, those
I'm
little
more.
aha
I think.
moments.
I think the more we discover, we realize, the more things we realize that's not real in the matrix is the more we think that we've been lied to, but really is that we've been living a lie. It's not that we've been lied to, but we've been living a lie. We live in a matrix. Everything in the matrix is not what it seems to be, so therefore it's just a big lie. So it's not that
Yeah,
they are lying to us, but it's that we are in the lie.
we are
You know what I'm
living
saying?
in the lie. Yes. And I
Yes.
cannot stand that. I was born honest with the truth in my mouth and love in my heart. And I was
Oops.
Fucking ho ho, surrounded by fucking liars and not everything's a lie. I can't stand it here. I see what you're saying. We are living in the lie. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's why they say the truth hurt. They say the truth hurt, but to me, I think it's not. I don't think it's that deep. It's that okay? There is the lie. There's the truth. There is the good. There is the bad. There is up. There is down. There is left. There is right. And you know, whatever that work for you, wherever you're heading at.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what What I'm saying. That's what you go with. It's
Yeah.
not that deep. Yeah, once you realize you're being lied to, what I'm saying, you should, all right, yeah, that's good that I know, because I could have been, you know, die, in the lie. Now that I know,
Yeah.
I'm living the lie, so I have, that's good. Now I could turn around, you
Yeah.
know,
Living in the
and
truth is
Well,
is empowering. You know.
yeah,
it
because if
is
you don't know,
empowering.
if you're living in a lie and you don't know that, you're gonna die in it. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
that is huge. That what you're saying is fucking profound. To die in the lie is why we keep being reincarnated back in here.
for sure.
If you don't die in the lie and you die while you're living in the truth, I think you get to go somewhere else to a next level.
Well, maybe.
And I am definitely ready for a vacation from this fucking place.
Oh yeah. You've said that a million times. We've heard it.
It's
Million and
coming.
one.
It's coming. Listen, sis, you're manifesting it. Integrity, you're manifesting it. This
Could
is
be.
why they say be careful what we look for or what we ask for, because we will surely get it. You know.
My
So
life's pretty much a
So it will
paradise, but
manifest ending somewhere better than this place, and I can't wait.
I like this place. It's great.
yeah, me too. I think this place is great. Is
And I don't take up the Gnostic idea that the world's evil and all that shit. That's a bunch of bull. The world's full of good and evil, so
Yep,
you get both, man.
yep.
What you focus on is, your choice. Where you put your attention, right? And like the kids these days, they're taught to look and become victims. They're trying to teach them to learn victimhood on a constant basis, and it doesn't take you anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, even that, I looking at myself, well, knowing that I was a kid, you know, it's like hey, no, I don't have to worry about the youth, no thinking that they're going to uh something going to happen to them, and that happened to me. I was indoctrinated, I was
Yeah,
just
they're
like
tough.
the kids that I'm worrying about,
Yeah,
so
they're
it,
tough.
it,
I
yeah,
talk to a lot of kids. It's not as bad as we're thinking. The kids that are getting indoctrinated are those that are unfortunately like socially awkward and would have been kind of outsiders to begin with. So most of the kids aren't really affected by it, and now they're pretty much outright rejecting it. So they're fighting.
it's a good and a bad thing. It's always both. It's balance, because if they don't, then there ain't no way they're going to find out how to live the right way, because we don't have no organizations, right? That that's going to you know that set the path for them. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to figure it out, just like we figure it out. The generation before us, they had no type of organization that was set for us, to come to the knowledge of self. So we had to, if we wasn't initiated, in the system, if we wasn't indoctrinated, we wouldn't be able to figure it out,
Yeah,
because there was no system in place for us. So we have to, you have to be inside of the system to learn the system. You know what I'm saying? And understand how to beat the system. You know.
Hi, Richard. Doing great, thanks. A little tired today, but I was up late last night, so
I know. I couldn't believe how long you went live.
yeah, that was a long one.
7 hours, like 7.5 hours.
Yeah, I was full of energy.
I was like, you must have took a
I'm,
nap or something. I told my husband.
well, I'm very passionate about that subject, so
Yes, you are, and for you have a right to be as well.
I'm
I
gonna say this
mean,
right quick to Charles. Me personally, I'm not saying there is no evil. I just choose not to look at the world in that way, you know. But evil, is equally, you know, uh, 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 uh is equal, or equally belong here, as the good, you know. It is the evil that balance the good, or is the good that balance the evil, you know. So yeah, I'm not saying that that it don't exist. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying uh it is normal. It's regular. Just like the left
ain't
side is
normal
just like
regular.
it's normal to
I
have a
can't
left
live with
side, right? It's normal to have a left side. It's normal to have a down, right? And it's the same way it's normal, it's regular to have evil because we
how
have
can
good.
you want us to think
It
it's
come
normal? Am I the only one that longs to live in a place where you're allowed to be yourself because yourself isn't evil, it is only good, and to be surrounded by
you're
other
allowed to do that,
people
but other
who
people are
are
given the
only
choice
ever
as well.
good, and you get to actually live life more abundantly like we were fucking promised in the beginning? I mean, am I the only one that longs for that?
It's
I feel
available,
so alone in that because I hardly anybody understands the passion that I have for the need of peace.
but I don't live with the evil. I know it's here. I'm
It's
aware it's
not
around.
normal to me to, oh, there should be good and evil. That's not, I'm never going to say that's normal.
It
Never.
happens everywhere.
But what I'm saying is that it wouldn't make sense to have the right side and don't have a left side. It wouldn't be normal to have a up and don't have a down,
The
right?
extremities could be a little less, right? The extremes of evil could be lessened, bring a little more balance to the neighborhood instead of such extremes, you know.
Positivity have a right, it's the same way negativity have its right too. If you want to have the right, to be positive, and be peaceful, while you're being positive, you gotta be able to allow somebody to be peaceful while they're being negative.
Yep. We have free will, and with that comes different choices, right? And
We
some
have to
people won't
understand
make
that
the choice that you're making.
harmony is a thing. Harmony is a thing. So we have to understand, how to be in harmony with something. Just because we don't want to take part of it, don't mean that we have to eliminate it. That thing, have the right to be, just like we have the right to be. And I think that's why the world is the way it is, because you have people, positive people try to, to fight against the negative people. Then you have the negative people trying to fight back against the positive, or the positive trying to fight back, instead of, just harmonize, themselves, you know.
There is no way to harmonize with evil. I will never do that. Don't anybody hold your breath for Paula to ever harmonize with evil. I will devour that fucking shit and tear them down to the fucking ground before I will harmonize with it.
At that point, at that point you basically embody evil, you know. You basically embody evil, you know, because you can't
I
do
don't
no
embody evil, though. There's nothing evil about me, nothing evil in my birth chart information. I came to bring justice.
yeah, but you can't bring justice with doing an evil act. If we think that being
Right.
Verbally,
evil is
with reason
just.
and logic, tear them
Yeah,
to the
bro.
ground,
what
trying
i'm
to
saying
force
what
them to see the facts,
what I'm saying is
the
that
error of their ways.
if we think evil is unjust, then we cannot, do an act of evil, to justify a situation or anything to bring justice. It
But
just don't
bringing
make
truth
sense.
to the
Be right back.
situation is not evil.
Say that again.
Bringing truth to the situation is not
You guys play
evil.
nice while I'm away.
So is it the act that's evil, or is it the reason behind the action that's evil, the intention behind that's evil? Which one is evil? The
Both are
actions or
evil
the intention behind it?
because their intentions to pedophile a child, no other way to say that really, is the same thing as the actions. Evil is evil and
Well,
good
that's
is
what I
good.
mean. That's what I mean by doing an evil act to bring justice. It just makes you evil
Bringing
because
truth and
the act
facts to
because the act
somebody's
itself is
face to
evil.
prove to them that they are in error is not evil.
No, but the act itself is evil though. So the reason behind the actions is to prove to them something, right? But we already solidified that the actions and the intention is the same thing.
Almost that.
So if the actions and the intention is the same thing, therefore an evil act makes you evil. Is the same as having an evil intention.
I'm
That's why
not
I was saying.
fully
That's what.
understanding what you mean. It sounds like you're saying because I want to tell people when they're being evil that that is evil in itself, and I don't agree.
No,
So
no, 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 no,
I
no, no,
agree
no.
with most of what you say, but on this one, no.
I'm not saying because you're telling them they're evil. That's make you evil. I'm saying because you're doing an evil act. Because I'm doing an evil act. If somebody come and murder my wife, right, and murder my whole family, and I go, and murder them,
Well, yes,
that makes me
two
evil
wrongs
too.
don't make a right. Put simply, two wrongs don't make a right. Exactly.
Off the hook.
I agree with you there. Absolutely.
Right.
But
Literally,
correcting a
that's what I was
motherfucker
saying.
because they got head and ass syndrome, there's nothing evil about that.
Say that again.
I said correcting somebody because they have head and ass syndrome, something I created. The wording of that, telling them that they have head and ass syndrome isn't evil. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to show them correction.
But you gotta do that with good. So you can only correct evil with good. With good.
Right.
That's why
Good
the good.
truth is good. Facts are good. I love them both. Yes.
Hey,
Interesting
hey.
conversation, guys.
Yeah, for
Interesting.
If
sure.
I am in love with and married to anything, it is truth and facts.
Oh, I thought you were going to go a different direction with that, but that's a good one. Yeah.
That's all I've ever said is I am in love with and married to the
What's an
truth.
ass syndrome, right, Richard? Head and ass syndrome, I think she said.
Head and ass syndrome. That's
Yeah.
what I've known so many with that fucking disease that
We
I
do live
actually
with
had to create words for it.
yeah, we do
Yeah,
live with duality there off the hook. I don't know. I
right
always thought
with
that
you.
the Bible kind of taught me to look for peace in the inner because it's very difficult to find it with the outer world. So look
Right.
to the inner world, and that's where I find my peace because I know that
Yeah.
there isn't peace out there.
So there
And
you go.
as a human being, I can have a small effect on it, and I try to. But maybe eventually we'll turn the tide, and the world will be mostly good. So I'll just keep doing my part and live my little piece of paradise, and hopefully the rest of the world wants to come along.
Yeah, I think peace is like parents. Being a parent is the result of having a child. You know,
You
by
know,
having a child, that the result of that makes you a parent. Makes you a guardian, and it's the same thing with peace. I think peace is the result of organized uh uh of our organized informations. Whether it's negative information, if it's organized, it's going to be peaceful. Whether it's positive, information, if it's organized, they're gonna be peace, amongst it. you know. So there can be, people can be, peaceful and harmony, harmonize among themselves, but still, causing chaos, outside of themselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
peace,
who knows? Like
yeah,
Bill
yeah,
Gates there, he's probably very peaceful inside, running around doing what he's doing, When
yeah. So
what
peace,
we see as evil, he sees as good.
yeah. So peace is not exclusive to
But tell me, how
positivity.
can you have peace when somebody's trying to run at you with a syringe against your will? Tell me.
Yeah, you don't
Well,
have peace, but that don't mean.
that's a physical moment. That's not my mental state, right?
Yeah, but just because you're not peaceful don't mean that I'm not peaceful. Don't mean that I'm not having fun doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I used to
Don't
have
mean that.
lots of fights when I was in school, and for me, I found them quite peaceful. I would
Hmm.
just put the person on the ground, hold them there until they decided not to fight anymore. It's very peaceful.
Yeah, like you get to beat people up, and ain't nobody stopping you from beating them up, not even themselves. So you're doing it peacefully. You beating people up peacefully without without being disturbed. And
Yep,
it's the
doesn't
same
disturb
thing.
my life at all, really.
Yeah, it's the same thing too. We can be, building together, without being disturbed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
being
yeah.
peaceful
Peace
is
is just a state of
exclusive.
mind, really.
Yeah.
Uh, the Pope, the current Pope, and Pope John Paul claim that heaven and hell are just states of mind.
Well, they're
So,
idiots.
no, they do
I'm
tell the
just
truth sometimes.
not going to listen to those fucking perverts, liars. But
You know,
I get it. I have peace when I'm alone in my house and I'm the only one here.
well,
But
there you go.
when I should be able to converse with other people and still have that peace coming from them as much as coming from me. And I shouldn't
I
have to
never
jump
expect
out of
that.
my peace
Never, I
to tell
never.
somebody to get their head out of their ass.
With people, you never know what you're going to get. So,
Exactly.
I just put myself forward as usual. I don't worry about it too much. Most of the time, I get a pretty positive response. I'd say one out of 50 people will give you kind of a weird response. Most people are pretty friendly.
Well, you're in Canada. I'm in America. Few people are pretty friendly. Most people are asshats.
Hmm.
In my vicinity, anyone around me, it's like I was placed in an area, whether I was in Michigan or Indiana, where I'm just surrounded by fucking morons.
There are some big cultural differences between Canadians and Americans. So there's a comedian pointed a lot of them out at one point. Like Canadians do not appreciate hearty slaps on the back. Do not ask a French Canadian how their day was because they will tell you. You know,
I will too.
you,
I'm not
you
going to
don't
go,
want.
oh, it's fine. You asked, motherfucker. Now
Well,
you're going to
you'll be there for an hour or two. You know,
get it. Are
so
you sure you want to know? I've had to create
these
training.
suggestions were put out in a brochure for people visiting Canada. I think it was for the Olympics too. It's
Don't
like
ask me how my day is unless you want to
warning
hear
you
one.
about our Canadian oddities.
Oh, I'd probably, even though I hate cold weather, people wise, I would probably be more at peace in Canada
Maybe
because they're nice.
mostly, yeah.
Hmm. Mostly. So you're mostly surrounded by good energy, not
We're,
asshat
we're
energy.
not as driven by politics as the U.S. is as well.
Oh,
Like
I know. They're
we
so
don't
crazy.
have yeah we don't have that I hate you because you're this thing or you're that thing. That's
Yeah.
not really a thing
Well,
in
I don't
Canada.
have that. Yeah, I don't have that. I believe both sides are equally fucking stupid.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Canada, really, they don't, it's a lot of, it's, for real, it's really, us right here in the United States, that have a identity crisis. you know, most people, in other, country, indigenous people, they don't really have, identity problem. They don't,
Hmm.
they're good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of things. The government, is a lot of countries. The government is not really, it's not very being imposed as it is over here. And
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, and I think that's why people are having identity crisis as well. See, they're pissing me off because they don't even know who the fuck they are. Because they're too busy being convinced you're left or you're right, you're Democrat or you're Republican, blah, 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 blah,
yep.
blah. Stop
Yeah,
it.
you guys don't have maple syrup to unite around.
I
Like we've
love
always
maple
got
syrup
maple
too.
syrup. You know.
Yes.
No, that's right. I think we identify with politics, instead of identify, with our
With who you actually are.
Yeah,
yeah,
something about your country or something
yeah,
to unify about the country, or even like because we're all Americans, like we're just North Americans, and you'd figure there'd be something good to unify us just under that.
yeah.
This is our continent. We're the ones that are living here. We shouldn't be shitting in our own nest and messing the place up. And we should take an American identity.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a saying, don't shit where you eat.
Mhm.
That came to mind as you were saying that.
Yeah, off the
Yeah.
hook has some maybe helpful hints here. Uh, I can make my own friends. Yarn doesn't talk back. That's cute.
That's cute and funny.
Uh, yeah, maple syrup is wonderful. North America could probably unite under maple syrup. Pancakes and waffles, man,
And French toast.
and French toast. Yeah.
Oh
See,
my God, have you ever put syrup on scrambled eggs?
no, I haven't. No, I'll have
Don't
to
freak
try it.
out and think that sounds gross, but make
I'll try
yourself
it.
some pancakes, French toast, or waffles, and
Yeah.
scrambled eggs on the side. And you'll accidentally get some of that syrup on your scrambled eggs, and before you know it, you'll be pouring it on your scrambled eggs. It's
Sounds
delicious.
good.
Yes.
I can't think of too many things I wouldn't put maple syrup on.
I know, right? Well, I wouldn't put it on my meat. I wouldn't put it. Bacon, maybe, but not.
Oh, you can. You can marinate in it.
Yeah, bacon would probably be good.
Yeah.
Maple bacon or maple
Yep.
sausage.
That is a thing.
Yes, but I wouldn't put it on my chicken, my turkey, or my beef. Or, and I
Oh,
don't eat pork.
yeah.
I
It,
put
it
pork
is
on
good for
everything.
that. It is good for that. You can do
Is
it sweet or savory.
is it me or maple or syrup itself sound like a medicine?
Oh, maybe. Oh, I got
Well,
two people
they
down
took
here.
the word. They took the word
Hey, hi,
syrup when they
Mr.
added
B.
their medicines to it, and then they called it syrup. Cough
Speakerphone.
syrup. They stole the word when they started making their pharmakia. Yeah.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you.
Hey,
I got an echo now.
why is everybody
Mr.
echoing
Mission.
now? Somebody needs to close YouTube.
Hey. Oh no, I'm in the dark. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the dark. I'm outside in the backyard. Feeding the possum.
Yeah,
All
well, you're
right.
still going to have to close YouTube or
Probably
you're
see
going
me
to keep
lighting my
making
pipe up.
everybody echo.
Yeah, when you're not talking, Mr. Mission, mute yourself.
Do
But
what?
it's
Mute yourself when you're not talking because we've got an
Oh,
echo.
okay.
ruins the show with all the echoes. Makes it hard to hear what people are saying when
So,
they're
hi,
echoing.
G. How you doing?
Hey,
Hey, hey.
hey, I'm party crashing.
Nice.
Ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
Oh, and my dog's joining me.
Yeah, I missed your party earlier today. I was on with
I
Charles
was
at the
there.
time, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I mean, soon as my dog shuts up. That's the boxer in her.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all ebb and flow.
Roof.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to mute for a minute.
Okay.
It's like she was responding back to me.
Yeah. I don't know why
Oh,
Mr. Mission has so much audio troubles. He's got to sort that out.
it sucks, man.
Because
They do
he's
that to
got
me
good information.
sometimes.
He's got great information. I'd love him to share, but
That's why they attack him.
yeah,
If he's got great information, that's why he's a target. They target us when you got good information.
humans, what a headache we give the creator, right? Yeah, I was thinking of the creator. Imagine that the consciousness level of the creator being like we can maybe, depending on our state, keep track of a few thoughts at a time. Imagine keeping track of every thought of every person, of every animal, of every tree, of every movement in the universe, and consciously acknowledging it at the same time. I can't imagine it, but you know,
I don't think it's possible. I see the creator now as two atoms slamming together.
yeah,
That is when creation happens, when two atoms slam together. And
okay.
it doesn't
I don't
take
think there is a
years of a
creator,
consciousness.
because I
On
don't
the
think there is a creator, because I don't think the universe was created.
yeah. In the Nordic tales, they say when fire met ice, that was the beginning, and that made the great cow was formed, and the great cow licked the gods out of the ether.
Jesus
I
Christ,
think
I can't even do
I
that.
think
I love that story.
I think the universe, I think the earth itself, it's like, I think the universe give birth, to different part of itself. For example, like, I think the ocean give birth to the water. I mean, the ocean give birth to the earth.
Yes,
So
it comes out
that's
of
what I'm
water.
looking at, like birth. Like, so the ocean, would be the parents, the guardian of the earth. Would be guarding the earth. What we call parents. You know,
Hmm.
and the ocean, will have, something also that created, and which is the invisible frequency, the energies, the magnetisms. You know what I'm saying? So I think is, it's all intelligence, divine intelligence, you know uh manifested itself, to a different part of the earth, or give birth to different part of the earth. But I don't think it's a creation,
Hmm.
like, or something created out of nowhere, or like a big bang, basically.
Nanocrystalline cellulose polymer printer.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna comment on that. Yeah, it's funny that like we live with on oxygen and salt and water, but you put those things together, they start to oxidize.
Oops.
Oxidization, and rusting. We rust to death, and then our cells start degrading, and then of course they found the DNA triggers to reverse aging, basically. So anybody that can biohack themselves with a $2,600 CRISPR kit can pretty much live to Methuselah's age if they want to, if they know the sequences. And it's all proprietary. It's all in the like RefSeq documents if you want to look. If you're a geneticist and can read that stuff, and then enact it off the CRISPR kits. There's a couple different companies you can get CRISPR kits from for about $2,600. Well, that was back in 2022 when I looked at it. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's funny that like the salt of the earth, basically the ocean. The ocean's full of salt. Without salt, oxygen, other base uh,
Mhm.
gases and minerals and lipids. And without the lipids, we wouldn't be here. And
Yeah,
so,
I thought of a joke when you were mentioning rust. Instead of rest in peace, rust in peace, because we have all those things in us. They say rest in peace. It might be a play on words. Who left a message back here? What's that link to? Seek documents, nanocrystalline. Oh, cool. I'm going to open that up in
Yeah.
a new tab. Thank you.
Hey, Max, uh, can I share something
Yep.
and maybe turn off your mic?
Yeah, he'll have to mute again. Mission Control. Thank you.
Mr. Roboto. Okay. I wanted to share this because we're on 5G. And
All right. Ooh, cool.
they're coming out with the med bed. And of course, this is an artist's rendition, but this is very close. But the ones in Japan, I can go look for another picture, are definitely pushing this in 5G. This is what they'll be running it on.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
That's
that's that's what I envision for the future, the meta death pod,
Yeah, or
right? They
something.
did they just hook you up to this pod, you're in virtual reality for your entire life. And then when you die, they just, send in the acid flush and the soup
yeah.
goes down the drain and they put in the next person.
There
Yeah.
you go. And it's like in the TV show Dollhouse. It only went for 2 seasons, by the way, so it's worth the watch. They're short seasons. They are put in this chair, this reclining chair, and then they're put backward, and their head goes into this little circular thing, like what would be around her head in that so-called med bed, and that is when they are reprogrammed. And I don't think that those things work unless you've had the juice
Hmm.
Yeah, or a patch. I mean,
or
yeah,
patch or
this is
something.
very
Yeah.
future. But but
Oh,
yeah, Mr. Mission, if you can, thank you.
Yeah, he was trying to add, but
Yeah,
he's
I'll
too.
stop in just a second. And
It's too quiet. Can't hear him.
now we got a double echo.
yeah, it's okay. But as one last thing, if you notice again, they're showing the computers to be basically holographic 3D. I
Hmm.
think there will be a day when we step away from a screen and it will be something on our wrist or whatever in our eye. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah. Okay, I rest.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
yeah, it will be. They want it to be in our eyes. They
Oh,
want us to be
where'd you
tech.
go, G?
They
Oh,
want to turn us
it's too
into
late.
tech. They want to put the tech in us. And the starter of that is the crappy Elon Musk is pulling.
I think all of that is already going on. I think you listen. I think in the time we are in right now, I don't think is nothing that new coming in. I think it's just a time where everything is just being revealed. We're in a revelation, you know, the reveal of a nation, the reveal of a mystery, you know, the reveal of what the planet is. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the age that we're coming into, and everything started to reveal itself. I don't think is that that's they're showing us, you know, what we what's going to happen in the future. I don't think, you know, these people, the way, you know, when I'm studying, you know, the way, you know, the leaders of the world is acting, the way they you know, they talking, the way they're moving, they are in total darkness right now. They don't know what the next step is, and they, you know, they scared, you know, for their legacy. You know, you know, they thinking that, you know, after you know this, they might not have, you know, uh uh they might not inherit this planet, you know, after the end of it, or after, you know, at the end of the day, they might not inherit this planet. That's how they're looking at it. You know, I don't think, you know, they think that they have a slight chance, you know, of staying here for real. So I think all these things, you know, already is been going on right here under our eyes. You know, it's certain people, you know, that, you know, probably live, you know, multiple lifetime, you know, celebrities, you know, politicians, you know, people, and you know, in high places. You know, these people have been cycling themselves, you know, over and over. You
Yeah.
know, so I think this time, you know, the time that we're coming in, this, you know, this energy that's coming in is where, you know, everything is just revealing itself. Like I said, the planet is revealing, itself
Yes.
to everybody.
Hi, Mitch Gander. Good to see you.
And I'm gonna just say this right there to end it. This is what the last book in the Bible is Revelation. Even though they give you revelation as if they know what's going to happen, but really they don't. If you really read Revelation, they don't know what's happened. Like Jesus said in the
A
Bible,
lot
we
of people
don't
are
know
of the
Right.
consensus that they have to make it happen, but they're using it more like a script. It's not
Yes.
prophecy.
Yeah, it's not a
But it
prophecy.
is like a reset, and that's why they say that we are going to be receiving a great reset. I believe revelation has happened before, and it will happen again because I think they keep repeating the damn book.
Keep recycling the story over and over, eh?
They're
Yeah, they could.
recycling the story. It is finished means nothing else other than it is finished. And yet
Every
here we
80
are again,
years.
and it's Groundhog
Every
Day,
80
and
years,
we're
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it again.
Seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
saying previously today that every 80 years, a new generation will forget what happened previously in the 80 years, or they don't care.
Right.
And they can play this over and over again until we go, oh, wait a minute, this happened in the 1930s too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we've had
Yeah, that's
several
what.
antichrists, from
Yeah,
Hitler to Stalin to whoever,
that's
Anyone
just
who's
by.
ever tried to rule the world has been an antichrist.
It's just them buying themselves time. Like I said, hoping, they, when the reveal of this planet is nothing that uh you can hide. You can't hide it. Just like the darkness, the loss of knowledge, that's going on right now. We couldn't stop it. Not that we didn't know, it was coming, but we couldn't stop it because it had to happen. It's certain things, that we can't stop. We can't stop the water in the ocean from moving. We can't stop
Right.
the rivers. We can direct them somewhere else, but we can't stop them from flowing.
Yeah.
We can't. You can't stop the rain, from
Yeah. You can't stop the
raining.
truth from coming out, no matter
Well,
how
they're
much you
working on
try.
weather control quite diligently, and earthquakes and all their other
Yeah.
various machines.
Yeah, they've been have that. That's them mimicking the elements, but that's not them, stopping the elements. It's just them mimicking the elements.
Rifles and tools.
Yeah, much love to her. Yeah, it's just them mimicking the elements, mimicking the planet, mimicking everything. So when the
Now they want to mimic God
revelation.
and start editing your genes, and they want to
Mm-hmm.
start doing your thoughts for you.
doing your thoughts for you. They've already
Go ahead there,
Yeah.
Mr. Mitch, and everybody else be.
everybody else be with my research with these Wi-Fi sensitivity apps.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I personally
We
think
can't
in
hear
certain
you.
things.
Yeah, your mic's really low.
You're way low again, like the other day. We can't
My
Yeah.
hear
mic
you.
is low.
No, not yours,
Oh,
Mr. Missions.
yeah. I'm gonna just say this right quick. I think it's certain things, that's beyond the physical. It's certain things, you would need, the knowledge of the elements, you know, to affect it, certain physical things. And I think
Yeah.
these people still study what the wind is. They still studying the earth. They still studying the water, the oceans. You know,
And they're
they
trying to
ain't,
control it without full knowledge of it, and that's
yeah.
why it's a
So
shit show.
they don't know what the elements really is, and how the elements is still unpredictable to these people. So
Yeah.
because of that, I don't think that they can engineer us or do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that, because we are a composition of the elements. So we are composed, in a unique pattern,
Hmm.
in a unique way.
Yeah,
With
they
the same
know a lot
elements.
about that. They know a lot about that. They've studied it very diligently.
Right. That's what
They
I'm
study
saying.
your
So
thoughts. They study the weather. They study everything. They feed it all into their supercomputers. They use
But
yeah,
it
they
and
do
that's
it.
why
I
and
think
and
predict
what
the
he's
and,
saying
and
is they do it before they have full knowledge of what they're doing with it, and I do agree with
but
that.
that yeah, that's what the goal is. The goal is to study it, and then when they study it, they master it, and then they can take over the planet. But the thing is, they don't have enough time to do it. You know, They don't have enough time to do that. That's the
Maybe.
thing. They don't have it.
I would like to rename Mission. What's his whole name? Mission
Mission
what?
control.
Mission Control. I'd like to rename him to Mission Impossible and add the music to it too. Do 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 do.
Do,
Since he keeps
do,
trying to
do, do.
talk and they
Yeah, we
won't
got to
let
get
him.
your mic working there, Mr. Mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work now?
Can't hear you.
No?
Let me try and edit your settings here. Leave your mic on for a moment. Okay, let me edit. Let's go with echo cancellation automatic. We'll turn that off. Okay, try it now. See what if we can hear you.
About
Nope.
Probably gotta go and come back.
No.
He always has this trouble.
Does he
Always.
have headphones? Maybe if he uses headphones, that might help.
But yeah, I've got.
He's got them.
Well, that might be the problem then.
See, if you're
Try it without.
using headphones,
Do
then
that
stop
now.
using them and see what happens.
Yeah, try it without.
Yeah, try without the headphone right quick.
No,
I'll have to
nothing.
jump on
And
my
if that doesn't
computer.
work,
Well, that
stand
is a
on
little
your
better. That's a little
and
better.
wiggle your toes.
It was a little bit
Oh,
better.
shit.
And we don't have the echo again.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, we
my
don't have that.
iPad doesn't like a headset. It will only take those little pods that they come with.
Yeah.
Something in the jack. It's like, yeah.
Now he's got
Yeah.
the YouTube window closed, fools and tools.
Bluetooth might be better.
Maybe.
Well, that's a
I don't know.
little
Yeah.
suspicious there, G Sharp, because those little pods will fry your damn brain while you're using them.
Oh, planned obsolescence, and they don't mean the phone.
Exactly. Oh,
The
they're
the ones
working
from
on
the
using these brain frying pods. How convenient for them.
iPod earbuds apparently read your brain waves.
Exactly that too. I was about to say, you took the words right out of my mouth, Max.
Yeah.
See, I know they're getting at us some way. They know how to
Every
read our triggers.
everything is
Just saying.
everything's been reading your thoughts for years. It's the routers. Am I echoing
Mhm.
still?
Nah, you good.
I'm good now.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
you still
I got
echoing,
it.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
just
you go
don't
ahead.
talk when he's talking.
No,
Oh
I
yeah.
can't
So
hardly hear
the
him. I might have to put headphones in
the
just to hear him.
I'll speak louder. The mind reading microchip was just released for mind to text, and it's no bigger than a eighth of a SIM card. So they've had stuff for 40 years before we find out about it. So when all this technology came out, it was already doing it. And those med beds come out. The ideas for that is a automated medical bed for when the super soldiers came back through the portals in the dumbs, and they have to go through decontamination. And what those are is a resonant frequency um, tools on robot arms. Basically, just like sound waves and what other high frequencies to kill whatever bacteria or organisms would hitchhike on the super soldiers coming back through the portals through the dumbs. Now you can say that that's all uh, cons- conspiracy and might not be
Not
real,
here.
but I know that the child trafficking and the organ harvesting is real. To what extent
Hmm.
is it interplanetary Stargate stuff? I don't know. I seriously, I have my suspects that it's something similar to that. But are
Mhm.
they giving us the full Monty on the media that we watch, the movies that a lot of that's blown way out of proportion, and a lot of it's overly correct. You know, so like when we were tracking after the Afghan pullout, we tracked the migrants that come over the border released from those the military bases they said they had put them in. Well, we couldn't find but 10% of them. 80% of them disappeared. Where did they go? They were legal citizens of other countries, and they just disappeared in America. That's not that's not something
Look,
they're seeking asylum. Like they told us they weren't seeking asylum. We baited them to come here, so we could sell their organs to who? The breakaway civilizations that are trying to readjust to our climate that is ever changing. See, they
Mm.
adjust like the Neanderthal. They probably broke away. The only time they spent in caves was probably when there was solar storm activity, and the atmosphere fluxes, uh, collapses, and expands through these catastrophe cycles. As we're following our evil star through depending on what season we're in, if it's good in the wintertime, it's evil in the summertime. We're trailing behind this flying plasma ball that's living, by the way, and that CERN can manipulate to boost its other experiments, like what we witnessed this morning with the 4-hour solar flare and CERN's beam dumps. I keep an eye on all this stuff, but I don't have the ability to live stream it all like I did. But Max, you know that which class is this now? How many classes have you had? These are newbies.
Oh God, I don't know. I've been doing 8 years of classes.
look though, I think I think the organ harvesting is is basically to expand their lifespan, their lifetime. You know, for example, the president of the Venezuela president, I think his name was Hugo Chavez, something like that. He was poisoned, you know. Every couple of months, he had to change his blood, you know. He had to change his blood, to stop him from dying, because his heart, was already poisoned. You know what I'm saying? So I think these people, and this is why the organ and human trafficking is mostly with young people. You know what I'm saying? It's because yeah, it's because they the blood, your blood is like oil in a car, you know. So
Yeah,
after a while, you have to change the oil. If you don't change the oil, then the motor, the engine, will start fucking up, and then your car stop running. So it's the same thing with your blood. This is why they put they feed you all type of things, to put in your blood to
Yeah,
contaminate
the,
your blood
there's
faster to shorten your
there's
lifespan.
energetic plasma and there's biological plasma, and plasma in the blood is all life force, and
But
like if you think of it, there's infinite frequency to the behind us and infinite high frequency. So these entities, a lot of them like the archons and stuff like that, they exist in a light spectrum that we can't see. So we only perceive our reality. Our reality is only this big, and the whole total of existence of entities, and we exist in the 3D realm. The very if you think about it, nothing's real physical, solid compared to like the center of Jupiter or something like that, or center of a Megatron star,
and
wherever.
and I must say something just to finish, right? Because that's what I started with the organ. I think if these people had devices and things, to read our brain, they will stop. They will prevent a lot of things, from happening. And I think the reason why they don't have anything to read our mind, I mean, to read our thought. That's what I said. The only reason why they don't have nothing to read our thoughts is because they cannot study the mind. When they open the brain, right? Is an empty chamber. Your third eye,
No, they
there
do
is
they do study the brain electronically, and they have mapped out your thoughts. They've mapped out your emotions.
no right quick though. They
It's
study
all
the
it's all
brain.
mapped out. It's all mapped out.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
right
mean,
quick. They
take
study
for
the brain.
instance,
Let me
for
say this right
instance,
quick. Let me say this right quick. They study the brain, but the brain is a receiver. The brain is a receiver. It receives thoughts from the mind.
Yeah,
So
they studied
because
the signals.
well, you can study the signal, but if you
Yes,
don't know, if you can't get the device, for example,
receivers,
for
antennas
them
can
to
transmit and receive.
right
I mean,
quick. Let me just say this right quick. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a two way. It is it's send and receive signal. But I'm saying because they can't study the mind, right? For example, for you to build a device, that's going to be compatible with the internet, you have to study the internet, right? If you don't study the internet, you can't build a device that's going to be compatible with the internet because you don't know how the internet work. So it's the same thing with their mind. They don't know how the mind work. They study the brain, trying to get to the mind, but every time, it is a empty chamber. It's like a empty seat. It's like a hole. It's like a light. You know what I'm saying? So, but with the brain, yeah, of course they study the brain. That's why they be able. That's why they be able to build computers, and stuff like that. It's because they study the brain. But that's the reason why too these computers have to be programmed because it is the mind that program the brain. But yeah, you got it.
They have to.
Let me show you what.
You
Let's
you
take a
muted
commercial
yourself.
break.
In the process of losing 100 pounds, I had to learn more than I wanted about the role of
SuperPatch, it's most advanced wearable technology in the market. With 15 plus years of research and development, super patches are
It's echoing.
our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a corresponding neural code or message in our brain that controls and regulates it. Due to factors such as injury, stress, genetics, etc., these neural codes can get disrupted, leading to poor health, wellness, and performance. At SuperPatch, we've decoded these neural messages that manage the neural control of physical, emotional, and psychological functions. Every single SuperPatch has a unique pattern of ridges in it, similar to a QR code. When these ridges come in contact with our skin, the receptors in and around our skin send a message to our brain, which then decodes it. This intricate pattern of ridges is known as vibrotactile technology, or VTT for short. When the patch stimulates the skin receptors, it generates and sends a very complex signal to our brain to correct the specific neural codes that may be disrupted. The effects are almost immediate, so you focus less on overcoming wellness and quality of life challenges and more on living a happier and healthier life. Whether it's improving your sleep, enhancing your sports performance, or unlocking other life-enhancing benefits, SuperPatch has you covered. Try SuperPatch today and start your health and wellness journey. www.superpatch.com.
So this is there's people at the Olympics accused of using this type of technology. Some people think they've used it for that.
Yeah,
But
every
go ahead.
time they go go to show the brain connecting.
Mission.
Okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
not Mr. Mission. He's on
To
mute.
show the brain connecting to the mechanism, there's just this line. I mean, Mr. Mission, am I supposed to start taking this personally? Got a really bad connection, dude. And I just question, what is that line? Why
He's
is
muted.
it
He's
so
been muted.
vague?
It's a good question.
They show you with the little arrows going through the skin, but it's kind of they kind of obscure it. Let's see, where is it here? There we go. So they're showing you. I'll turn the volume off. So here we've mapped out everything. We don't know the neural codes.
Yeah, right there.
Right there with the arrows, they tell you, but they don't show you how it goes through your body.
No,
No.
very vague.
Yeah.
It gets a little more dramatic, I think, at the end when it shows it one more time with an electronic explosion.
Ah, yeah, here.
I mean, to me, it's is the same thing. Like we don't know, we don't see. Back in the days, we see how the phone, the phone was connected to the phone line, but today we don't see how our phone is connected to the tower, but we know it receiving signal from the tower. And it's the same thing. This wireless technology.
You can
Yeah,
you can
wireless.
propagate those frequencies on tone generators up to into the gigahertz, and you can change this sawtooth so square waves and sine waves to where you can train it yourself to hear. I can hear
We
Wi-Fi. It's very high
we
frequency. It's like
I was
tinnitus.
talking to, I forgot who I was talking to, and I was telling them we compose differently than the plants. You know, the plants is like, you know, it's like the old telephones, you know, with the it like the old phones with the phone line. That's why the trees, you know, the plants they grounded, you know, to the ground. You know, they planted to the ground.
Well,
But us we can move,
the
but
mycelium,
us we can move
the
all
my,
over the ground and still be able to receive signal because we like wireless being. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But you got it.
well, the mycelium, a neural network in organisms, in plants and trees, they and mushrooms, they communicate through the ground. If you take your shoes off and your socks off and ground yourself more, just spend as much time connected to the earth as possible, it not only straightens out cardio problems immediately, and like taking a spoonful of cayenne pepper will kind of subdue a heart attack, but also grounding yourself out in the park. If you're in a big city or something, you know, just any plot of earth that's connected all the way down. Um, like, but I'm here in the Ozarks, so I'm constantly around
Hmm.
fresh ground. But mycelium neural network, look that up on repseek.com documents or whatever, or in YouTube. After school, I think had a really good presentation about it, and the mushrooms, the trees, the grass, it all talk to each other. You know, that's why
Yeah,
they
using the
animals.
ground. They're
Yeah, the
using the
ground.
ground as a grid.
Yeah, it's a neural network. It's a semi-electrical, semi, pheromones, the hormones that we off and frequency. Not just electrical frequency, but like our DNA propagates terahertz frequency, which basically propagates space time. That's why these archons need us here in this realm. We're in a realm. We're in this realm that we exist in because we don't see. There's entities all around us all the time. They don't see us. Some of them do see, quote unquote. I'd say perceive, and that's where you get all these things like rakes and see into the spirit realm. Some people can perceive it a lot better. Some people it comes in
If you
flashes.
choose to interact.
Yeah, if you open your mind, it's opening those channels of training. Everything is based on memory for us, for humans. It's genetic memory,
Mm-hmm.
it's learned memory in this life. Whether you're
Mm-hmm.
incarnating or reincarnating or whatever you want to say,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of you have remembered the past of doing this all over again, and you're like me and Max. You're here teaching the ones that are fresh. You guys are remembering this stuff. We've been here before, not exactly
Oh, I know. I've been here.
not exactly the same time and space, because we are following that star. We're constantly changing in galactic space time. We're moving, but time is cyclical. It's a triple infinity loop. And it's like the Ouroboros, but you've got a positive and negative pole, and then you've got the center of consciousness, which is the creator in the middle of that triple infinity loop. You know, and
Yeah,
we're constantly.
when we say we've been here before, you know, we've always been here. It's just that, you know, we choose to log in and log out our senses. You know, we choose to log in and log out our senses. This is what logic. This is where logic come from. You know, logic. Coming from you logging through your senses. You know what I'm saying? To your to your eyes. You know what I'm saying? You logged into your eyes to your senses, you know, and that's how you get logics. But outside of the senses, logic don't exist. You know, logic don't exist. You know, outside of
Well,
the
that's where you get to the like the AI. There's nothing artificial or synthetic in this realm, in this universe. It's all the creator's will. whether we create it or there's just a differentiation of which species or which entity creates which technology, quote unquote. Well, you know, the instruments and the instrumentation technology will be different on every planet in our solar system. Think what it is in other galaxies or on the other side of the galaxy. Just a couple parsecs away. So, I mean, we can't even fathom that right now because we can't even get past a manned mission past the moon, and even if we went there or whatever that is, some people say it's a light in the sky, but we enjoy uh, teaching and thinking about these
What's
things.
going on here?
We're drawn to the occult, the hidden mysteries. Like, oh,
Can you guys hear
I
me?
see, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep redoing this learning and teaching and remembering process, and some of us are stuck here in this realm for retribution purposes or redemption or something. Like I said,
Evolution.
evolution and to help the light bodies ascend to the next higher or lower, wherever you're going. You can go forward or backward too, but I think everybody left after the genocide from the jabs has got at least two wings. Speaking religiously or spiritually, and some of us have
Mhm.
seven, some of us have 12. Virtue angels can control the weather. Some people are really powerful, and like me, I go through phases of some people I influence real heavily. Some people can't stand to be around my ass. But
Huh.
like I said, uh, the microchips for reading your thoughts and turning it into text, the the advertisement algorithms. Now you've all experienced this. You've been talking at the dinner table. You go back to pick up your smart device. You look in YouTube. There's advertisement, or you go online. There's advertisement for what you were talking about, right? Now, just think that these smart devices, everything's going to be smart. The Internet of Things, they're going to have these mind reading chips and everything. So when you walk to your refrigerator is going to see you coming and read your mind and know what you want to eat out of the refrigerator. It'll be automated. Everything's going into automation, kind of like the Wall-E cartoon. We're going to wind up being fat blobs floating around on hover chairs, getting fed with an automation arm.
We're
Uh,
going to get lazier.
we're going to get a lot lazier. So, in effect, ascension is essential because we want out of this place. Because what it is, it was automated before and it will automate again. Transhumanism, they just want to stick neural chips in you. Well, you don't need a neural chip. I'm telling you, my video just got took down yesterday because I audible too much about the C thing, and the jabs put Bluetooth signals at everybody that didn't get a placebo. You can't pair to them, and it says no name unidentified. It's a simple Bluetooth search app. So those are just
Careful what you
tracking
talk
tags.
about.
Uh, they're just tracking them people right now, biometrics, I guess.
Yeah,
Could be used for the elections or um, anything. Crowd control, whatever. Maybe they're just
neural
taking that
stimulation.
census. Neural stimulation. Like I've noticed in bars or public scenes, if you say certain key phrases, and you got your Republicans, Democrats, gays, lesbians, trans, drag queens over here all mixed together. They're all in their separate thing. All of a sudden, they all come against you for one thing. And that would never happen in the other reality I lived in before I found out what I did. Being out, my missing time was what I was doing. I was over in Eureka Springs. I was basically homeless, displaced from my house for no contact order. So I was living out of my truck. I had my several different devices. They all got broken or somebody messed with them. But now I'm on my mom's free government phone right now, and then I salvaged this laptop. My computer got uh, hijacked up in Kansas by the feds because I got ran out of. I left. I ran off because I thought I was poisoned and I was going to die. So I ran back home, left uh, infrared laser, thermal camera, my computer, So the feds came and got it. Apparently, were what the police and the bleak narrative said up there. Oh, Kevin, but I lost everything. I started giving my stuff away. Eventually, I realized that material possessions don't matter.
Hmm.
It's loving your brother and your neighbor, helping them to cope, and get by. It's not
Let me
whether
let me
they
get in
fully,
there right quick.
not
I
whether
think.
they fully
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
understand
Go ahead, please.
the dynamics, not whether they fully understand the dynamics of the universe. It's just so that if you can cope, you know, and maybe if you're thinking about something too much that you can't fathom, just sleep on it. Dreams, what dreams may come. I'll give it to you.
Let me say this right quick. I think when we're talking about the material world don't matter, I think we got it wrong. You know, the material world is matter
He's talking
scientifically.
about materialism.
Scientifically, the material world is matter. You know what I'm saying?
He means materialism.
Yeah. So this is the thing that should matter to us the most. Is the physical because this is what we logged into. You know what I'm saying? You logged into your senses for a reason. You come to your senses for a reason. You know what I'm saying? This is because this is what matter to
Yeah.
you at this point. You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, with what's going on in the planet, the energy, is the exact energy that you needed, uh, 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 for you to be here. So what is the very energy that make this physical world matter to you, to us. So when they tell us, the like religion, when they trying to basically leading us outside of the earth, is the reason why I think we keep reincarnate, you know, here over and over, because every time we left and we realize every time we left our senses and we come back to our and we realize there's nowhere to go, then we come back to our senses again, and we
The
fall for
fun
the
with
same
words
thing.
I'm catching.
We fall for the same thing again, and then we left our senses and come back. We just keep leaving our senses and come back. So it's just a trick. You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
we have to learn how, because I see what you're saying about how it becomes solid and your senses. We are here to learn how to use those properly. There are those who get mad because they told a lie and got caught. You're not using that energy properly. You lie on me and I defend myself and I'm the bad guy. No, no, no. Me standing up for myself and using that energy properly is what we are here to learn how to do. Use love properly. Love is not lust. Lust is
I think
lust and love is love. And so I think that we are here in the solid to learn how to use those senses, come back to our senses. Once
yeah,
we learn how to use them, I think we move on to something else.
that now once you learn, listen, you practice to learn to drive a car so you could use the car. You don't practice to drive a car just to show people you can drive a
Exactly.
car. Once you learn how to drive a car, you're gonna be driving everywhere. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Once we learn how to log in our senses, we're supposed to experiment. We're supposed to experience, what I'm saying, everything in life. But before we can even come to our senses, we end up leaving. We're like, nah, I want to get up out of there. I don't want to be here. When we come here, our purpose is to find out why we came here. And once we find out why we came here, then we execute the mission. We
Well,
start living our
we're
purpose, but we
yeah,
never
learn how to use those
religions.
senses.
Let me say this very quick. Religion, politics, and educations, is being put here, so you won't reach so you won't come to your senses, so you won't find out why
And
you're here. So
they
once
kill
we
us
when we
before we're
wrestle,
able to learn how to do those things too.
so once we battle with all this religion and we give up, we will always come back here again because we came here for a reason. So we never supposed to quit. We never supposed to stop. We suppose anything, any challenges life
And
give
the
us, we
reason
supposed
is
to overcome
reasoning.
it.
Yes.
I do agree with you there, Nagus, but that was not quick. But I do agree with you. I think it's for the experience. I think growth happens here. I think we learn to deal with life, deal with our, like you say, our senses.
Yeah.
I have a saying I like to repeat. You can achieve nirvana in a cave, but you can really only achieve enlightenment through interaction.
Yeah.
And that means like
Yep, that
through the
that that's the
challenges,
thing.
through the
That's the thing.
challenges, you have to grow. If you have
That's
no
the
challenges, you have no growth.
that's the thing. That's why we came here. That's the first thing we're supposed to do. Once we do that, once we pass that step, now we're supposed to start living it. But we never
Right.
really live life. If you pay attention, uh 90, I would say a good 90% of the people is not really living life. It's like
Nope.
10% of the people living life, and the other 10 people is fighting to survive. The reason why
Mhm.
they came here in the first place. That's why they don't want to be here. So yeah,
Well,
you're
that's
right.
not
You know
why
what I'm
I'm
saying?
here. I already know how to use all those
You're
things.
supposed to achieve enlightenment. Once you achieve enlightenment, you're supposed to be bright. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You're supposed to be bright,
yeah,
living your whole life as a bright light. you
yeah.
know
Yeah.
Life is wonderful.
yeah, that's not what we see for the generation before us, for our generations, for those what we read in history. It seems like ever since we came to the dark age,
Yeah.
none of us really come to our senses, for or none of us really start living life because we trying to come into our senses.
But by the time we learn the point I want to make, by the time we learn how to come to our senses, they kill us before we can even learn how to do that and then live it like you say. So it's not always the individual's fault that they are back here again to finish the lesson that they were cut off halfway through in the middle of learning it when someone came along and decided they wanted to play doctor and end their life before they were supposed to.
Well, if I'm taking that logic, remember we're logging into the senses. If I'm taking that logic, right? If I'm, being, if I'm trying to see it with my senses, it seems like every time I come back, they will always kill me. But if I look at it in a different way and say that, look, it is my fault that I didn't achieve enlightenment, in my previous lifetime, then
There's a
I
50-50
then I
chance it
could
is your
start
fault, but there's a
right.
50-50 chance it's someone else's fault.
Let me just finish it right quick. If I say it is my fault, right, then I could see where I fault at, right, and correct it, and I could, get to achieve enlightenment, and get to live. But if I don't assume it was my fault, I might never, it might never happen because every time
We
I
got you,
leave
Mr.
and I
Mission.
come
I
back,
agree with you. It,
every
but
time I leave, I come back, I'm gonna blame them again.
don't say it's your fault if it's not, because I grew up in a household where everything was my fault and nothing was my fault. So
Mr.
you
Mission has a
only take
question.
responsibility
It,
for what is actually your fault.
it's
If someone
it's
kills you, that's their fault, not
it's
yours.
about it's about letting go and knowing that everything is the creator's will. It's letting go. It's like when you pick up that homeless guy for a ride down the street and he needs a pocket knife or he needs like your most prized survival tool and if you give it to him, what I found that more I gave, the better stuff I got back in return for free down the road. And just putting one foot in front of another and knowing that, see, that's where people stumble. If you stumble, somebody can put a knife underneath you and you land on it, and millions of people that, you know, hundreds of thousands of people die every day from uh, adverse environmental conditions. But who's to say that they're not at that lower evolutionary or incarnation or reincarnation point? In fact, some of them might only be here for just that one time and go move on because their energies or their purpose for the creator has for that specific vibrational is we're just different vibrations wavicles. We're
Well,
we're
well,
we're
But we all have
well,
to learn the same lessons.
I don't
we're here to
necessarily.
experience for the
I,
creator.
I
The
said it
the
earlier. I don't necessarily believe or inform, about what about what exactly the creator is, right? So with that being said, I still have a logic. I still have a point of view. On what life is. So I'm basing it. Life itself. Is the life itself, the earth, is the car, and life itself is the driver. So once we take that wheel, once we take the wheel from life and thinking that, okay, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this, we could do that, life go say, okay, you think you could drive, go ahead, you take the car. Remember, it's my car. The way I give it to you, you better bring it back to me the same way. If you don't, you're gonna have to pay for the consequences. You're gonna have to fix my car. Yeah, right. And this is where our karma come from, because we think that we know better than life, instead falling in line with life. So if in that case, if life represents the creator, then okay, I could see, by just letting the creator's will you know be. But I'm speaking it again, like I said, from a life point of view. Being life is the highest thing, is one that governs everything right here on this planet. Life governs everything, on this planet. So I'm saying we should,
well,
we should fall.
the thing is there's no guardrails to creation. Creation was the spark, the divine spark that created everything. That's the creator's will, was for all this to happen. Is
Yeah, I
not
don't have
God.
that
There's no
concept though.
there's no there's no divine entity that has rules and regulations for how all this shit's supposed to play out, man. No, it happened. It's happening. And what we found out is that it happens over and over again for some reason. And we to tap into that, although we're in this small spectrum, even we're the in between. When other entities pass through the veil, they wind up here, on our plane, but not
Yeah,
necessarily
though.
making it
Listen,
to our
though.
planet.
Everything that starts comes with an end. Every beginning has an end. I'm not looking at life like that. I'm not looking at life like a spark, like something that was created, that started. I'm looking at life like it's always. Life always existed. I'm not no religion, scientist, anybody,
Yeah,
politicians can prove that there was a time life wasn't,
Well,
right?
spark was exist.
right.
Well,
So I'm not taking
There's no
so
past or
so hold on
present. There's
so hold
no
on right quick.
past or future. There's only now. There's
So hold
Yes.
on
only
right quick.
now.
So when it come with to dealing with my senses, I'm not taking what they're giving me as the Big Bang or a spark or what religion all created. I'm not taking none of that. I'm taking to what I'm seeing with my senses, what my senses give me, what makes sense to me. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And this is why I'm going with life. And when I go with life, knowing that life is in me, knowing that life is inside of me, right? Then I know that, what I'm saying? If I don't use it right, if I have a car and I don't take care of that car, it's my fault. Because that car is in my possession. So the
Yeah.
life that's in me, right? If I don't do what's right with that life, is
Mm-hmm.
fault, right?
Yes.
I cannot blame no entity. I can't blame nothing outside of me. I can only blame me.
Yep.
I can't even blame the thing inside of me. I can't blame my
Right.
car for fucking up. I could
We've
only
got to
blame
get
myself
up.
for fucking the car up.
We've got to
Yes.
get up. We got to get up every morning and feed ourselves, feed our kids, make
Mm.
sure we're healthy, and have clothing. Some people don't wear clothes, but you know, basically consuming to keep going in life, and not getting any arguments with people and get ourselves killed, but hopefully, or shot by the police or whatever the hell's going on with this crazy world. My mom got onto me today for painting up my truck all chromed, and she just told me I was crazy. I said, Mom, I said, might be crazy, but we got to live in this world's crazy too, and we got to live in it. We got to live here, with all this messed up stuff going on, whether we like it or not. The best thing to do is if you absolve yourself from a lot of this stuff, and don't
We don't though. We don't.
yeah.
1,000 of us, 10,000 of us right now can come together and start a exodus, a migration. We just migrate outside of them cities in the land that that have no
That's what I
that.
was talking about, the breakaway civilizations which live below us and above us. As above, so below.
So let me
Inside,
say.
the creator is inside of us and outside of us at the same time. We
Let me say this very
manifest.
quick. Let me say very quick. Right now, 1,000 or 10,000 of us can come together and we go to a land that have no civilizations, right? That have no electricity, no running water, right? That don't have no city, state, or country structure. Period. And we choose to form, to form a culture on that land. Ten
Wait a
thousand
minute,
of
wait a
us.
minute. I got to break in, Naga. That's where I want to send the criminals. The only difference is we have video cameras set up to watch them 24/7, and we get the luxurious cities and towns and infrastructure. No, no, no. Send them there.
I just did 8 months in jail for nothing, argument over coffee. So don't go the whole criminal route because you don't know. Man, they're arresting people for freedom of speech violations. Uh,
I
I
you
only
just
know
send
it's
them on
No,
their
we
terrible.
path.
we we are
I think
so aware.
the
Please,
criminal justice
please,
reform is what
please,
we need.
please. Thank you. Yeah, we're so aware of what's going on out there. Trust me. I'm not
Yeah,
saying somebody who, got a traffic violation that was
no,
escalated for some stupid cop. I get that. No, I'm
no.
talking about the big
Still
guys,
criminal.
all of the Bidens and Obamas, and
Mm.
we've got to get an island for them.
See, money
But
is the
look
root of
though,
all
look, let me say
evil,
this
and
right
as
quick.
more
For
money you
mute
have,
mute
the more
mute
Wait,
yourself
one at
for
a
a
legalistic
little bit,
time,
missions.
people. One at a time.
Mute yourself a little bit, missions. I'm gonna pass it right back. What I was alluding to, you know, if you can't change, the world, you change yourself. If you can't change the situation, you change yourself. I was speaking from that perspective, so I know it's impossible for us to come together. That it damn near impossible for us to come together and go do our own thing. So I already know it's definitely impossible for us to come together and do anything against these people. You know, but because the brother was saying that is nothing we can do, we have to leave with this thing. I was providing a way, of us don't have to leave this thing, and it's something we can actually do, you know so we don't
Yeah.
have to live in this evil,
I
countries, or in these
no, I
evil
see.
cities
I
and
see.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
We
I see
can
what you're
go
saying.
outside of that. Yeah.
Yeah, people seem to be trying to do that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have to be in that. But going back to what I was saying, though, with the way that I described life, is because I wanted. We was talking about us keep coming back here. Us. What is our purpose? Of coming here, because I believe a lot of people want to leave here, want to leave and go somewhere else, is because they don't know their purpose here. They don't even know why they're here. Because them trying to figure it out, is they can't overcome trying to figure it out, because they can't overcome trying to figure it out, so they give up and want to move on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, uh we should look at it, what I'm saying, in a way, like, like we all, abiding by life. You know what I'm saying? And by doing so, what I'm saying, you can, you don't have to depend on education, on the government, or on religion. you know
Thanks,
you,
thanks for
you
coming up, Mr. Mission Control. He's going to take off.
He's got to go eat some delicious chicken noodle soup or just chicken noodle.
Yeah, salute to him. But yeah, I'm saying we can avoid religion, education, and politics, in order to become enlightened. And once we become enlightened, once we achieve enlightenment, then we can start being bright. And
I
I
have a
believe,
fun with words for that
I believe
because
if
enlightenment also means to lay down your heavy ass burdens and lighten the load. The lighter you feel, that's the Egyptian thing where your heart is on one side of the scale and there's a feather on the other side. Heart as light as a feather. So you're also enlightening yourself that way. And you can start by not lying to yourself or others to lighten that load.
Yeah, that's the first step. It's not to like, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. But what I was saying is that once you achieve that, you can actually start to live. And I believe once you achieve enlightenment, you overcome death.
Yes,
I truly
you will
believe.
overcome death. We do not have to die. No, we do not.
Yes,
Yes.
I truly believe that, and I think it's because people enough people don't know, how to become enlightened and enlightening and overcome death. That's why people want to leave for real.
Maybe that's why they're always killing us because they're waiting for someone they can't kill. I've already survived a heart attack that I shouldn't have
Yeah.
survived about 3 years ago now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Then they'll come and they'll suck your veins dry.
And then they'll kidnap you and do experiments on you. But I think that I'm onto something there because that's
Could be.
exactly that's why they're constantly killing us. They're looking for the one that just won't die.
I think
Watch
we
me do
looking.
it.
I think the people, before the people start, really take things serious, they're waiting for like a Jesus, for like a Messiah, that gonna show that, okay, look, there's nothing to scared about. These people can't do nothing to me. Oh, death ain't really nothing. They can't kill me. Look, even if they kill me, I'm gonna come back right next tomorrow. I'm gonna come back in 3 days. They're waiting for somebody like that. Then they could start taking things serious. But when it come to the these elite, I think they're trying to prevent that from happening because they know once that happen, right? Then everybody else gonna follow suit.
Yeah,
Do you have a
yeah.
definite fear of death?
I don't have a fear of death. I could give a shit. I'm just going through the steps that I got to go through to get to what we're talking about here, where I can overcome death and kick death's ass. Death, where is thy sting?
Yeah. Shouldn't be that hard.
Shouldn't be that hard. All you got to do is be authentic as well.
I don't think it is at all.
No.
You know
No. Of
that
course.
I don't think it is at all. For real. I think, is right under our nose. Is right there under our eyes. We just it
So
is right
close
there
we
in
can't
plain
see it.
sight. Is right there in plain sight.
Yep.
Yes,
But because we've been
yes,
distracted, so we can't see it.
yes. Distractions, bad.
We're going to shut it down in about 10 minutes.
All right, for sure. Definitely great build. For sure.
Yeah, that suppress your emotions. You become psychopathic and you don't deal with your inner traumas. There you go. Yeah. And they want to create a bunch of psychopathic automatons. So, yeah, I don't think that'll happen either because I think if we reject the internet, if there's a unification of minds that rejects the internet, then we can stop it and shut it down.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
they're trying to turn us into robots. Like we ignore our senses. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And we can our emotions and all that. When in reality, that's what makes us. That's what That's what makes us. That's what keeps us in alignment with this planet because this planet is an emotional planet. This realm, the physical realm, is an emotional realm. you know so if it's always in motion, what I'm saying, the energy here is always in motion, so you always have to be in motion, just like water. If the water is not moving, the water become
Yeah, they're trying to
contaminated.
augment magnetic fields of the Earth
stagnant.
with CERN and other such devices, but
Yes.
it always returns back because it's a feedback loop.
And, and if the water becomes stagnant, it becomes slimy and then it just shrivels away and dies.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of bacteria start to you know
Bacteria,
uh
things growing in there, mess.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they're doing with us, with our energy. They make sure that energy don't get to move and go nowhere. So the energy kills you. Because
Yeah.
the energy will be contaminated. So
Yeah.
you become your own energy kills you. You die. You slowly. You dying slowly, basically
Yeah.
slow death.
Yep. I do have a joke I want to crack before you end this, and it really sucks that Mission Control left because it was really for him. But hopefully he'll see this later.
Might be listening.
He said that if you're having a heart attack and you take a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, it'll stop your heart attack immediately. Well, sure it will. And then you can choke to death on the cayenne pepper.
Yeah, that'll stop your heart attack.
That'll stop your heart attack, and then you'll start choking to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was holding that one for a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cayenne pepper ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, how do you get that tablespoon of pepper down? I don't know.
I know that's like one of those things that they're always doing. Those
those challenges. Yeah,
the challenges. It's like a challenge thing.
yeah.
It's not.
Like,
It's not
I'd
bad.
rather have the heart attack. Thank you.
You just have to practice.
It's not
for it.
bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. If you eat if you take a big amount, a big
If you
portion,
burn it in your pan, you will gas yourself.
Yeah, if you take a big portion, then of course you're gonna start to cough. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start choking. But a tablespoon, a teaspoon, of cayenne pepper, that's not gonna. That's exactly what you need. Just a little dose.
A teaspoon's not a little dose. An
You
eighth
can-
of a teaspoon is a little dose.
You could practice, right? Just start with a small amount, work your way up over time, and
Add a
eventually.
little
Take
water.
a teaspoon. If you're still having a heart attack, take another one, but don't do it all at once.
Hey, Lucky, how you doing?
I could just see somebody taking that advice and then choking to death at the
Put your
same time
face
as
in
having
ice water stops a heart attack.
ice
Lucky,
water.
this is not medical advice. None of it.
Well, I tell you what helped me with my heart attack for everyone to know this. The doctors think, and so do I, because I told them and they agreed with me. The reason I survived that heart attack was because I was sweating bullets immediately. It was like this jolt happened, like I was hit with those paddles. And I immediately started doing this thing that they call sweating bullets. I know what they mean now. And I made my husband stuff a couple sandwich bags with ice, and I held that on my chest for 12 hours until I finally convinced him to take me to the hospital that I was having a heart attack. And they think that ice on my chest, right over my heart, saved my fucking life.
Wow.
Wow.
Good to know.
Yes. So whether you're sweating bullets or not, get ice on that motherfucker. If it hurts, you put ice there, and it will help preserve you till you can get to the doctor.
Good stuff. Okay. Just again, not medical advice, just experience that people have had.
Yeah, it's just an experience that I had. So for entertainment purposes only, whatevs.
Brain, it's parasites and holes. Isn't dementia holes in the brain as well? Or is that just the parasites making holes? I heard it was metal contamination as one of the factors as well. Heavy metal contamination.
Yeah, clogging of any kind, I think, is our biggest problem.
Yeah, inflammation is what they say is the root of all disease.
Yeah.
But something's clogged, it's going to get inflamed.
That's right. The combination.
They've
Bam.
been giving us enough stuff to clog your arteries and your colon and everything else.
Oh, it's bad. They say avoid the middle aisles of your grocery store. Try to stay away from the processed.
The cookies, the chips, the pop, the white
I know.
bread.
I know.
All the
I know that
processed foods.
I'm gonna say the same thing that God said in the Matrix. I know the steak is fake, but I'm gonna still eat it because I'm in the Matrix. The steak is in the Matrix. I'm in the Matrix, so ain't no need to convince my mind that it's gonna do something to me. It ain't gonna do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Because my body ain't even real.
I'm not that far into the Matrix, so
Yeah, I'm
But
yeah,
I
I'm still
get you.
going.
I hear you.
I know what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But I have to say, Matrix chips will get you.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Matrix potato chips will get you.
Is that an actual thing? Like
I
a,
just, yes, it is now.
oh,
I
okay.
mean, it is.
It'll
It
Now,
probably
is.
manifest itself now.
I
It
mean,
did.
we
It
do
will.
have
We're going to go
potato
to the
chips in the
grocery store in a
Matrix.
couple days and you'll see Matrix chips on the shelves.
Mm-hmm. Get your color in. Make sure you know what I'm saying.
Be careful what you
Right.
manifest there, G.
Yeah,
Hey, don't listen to me,
apparently.
man.
if I
I've got
see a
a.
bag on the shelf, I'll think of you.
Yeah, that's it.
Knock that off, girl. Knock that off, girlfriend. What are you thinking?
I
Uh,
accused the kid at work of manifesting things. He's,
Hmm.
yeah,
yeah.
it's just a joke. We play with
Oh,
each other. Yeah. So, but it's funny, you know.
I'm trying to manifest paradise. I don't know about any other motherfucker, but that's what I'm trying to do.
From where we sit at work, we can see like quite a few homeless people going down the street and stuff. So, you know, did you manifest that weirdo going down the street or what? You know?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, to manifest paradise is the same way it is within. You know,
Yeah.
you have to realize to have a peaceful mind is to not, put a whole bunch of stuff in your mind. You know, you have to think a whole bunch of people, what they're
Well,
gonna
have
think, what they
fun.
want you to do. Once you minimize all these things, you're going to realize you have a peaceful life like a loner. You know, if you are a loner, then you have peace. You know what peace is. You know what a paradise is. Then you can bring that in the physical world too. You just have to isolate yourself, just like you isolate yourself from the masses,
Yeah.
to keep your peace because you understand, the damage, and that is the same way. Once you isolate yourself from all the evil, you know what I'm saying, you're literally in paradise for real.
Well, I don't live with Bill Gates or any of those evil people, so you know.
Yeah. But my husband can be quite the pain in the ass, so it is hard for me to have peace here. It is very hard because he thinks and acts and says and does the exact same things that fucking Biden, Pelosi, and other idiots on both sides fucking say and fucking do. And so it is hard to get alone to have that peace for me.
You have
But
to become like
it
a night owl. Stay awake when he's out.
is alone. I know. Why do you think I'm not getting any sleep?
Yeah, there you go.
That's why I'm not getting any sleep because
Yeah,
I'm
just
sleeping
play
all
with your
the
kitty
time. I
cats
could be
and
having peace away, and I
think
need
about
that.
them. You
Yeah,
know,
that's why I'm not
what I
getting. That's
do is
one of the reasons.
I joke in my life. My life, I do a lot of joking, even in my own mind. I'll just make
Oh
up.
yeah, I'm hilarious.
Uh,
Yeah, yes.
it's a funny world, you know.
No, me, I do anything to protect my peace. I do anything to protect my
I'll
peace.
even
Not
go without
Yeah,
sleep to
not
yeah.
get
even
it. Yeah.
not even my children, I mean my daughter, because only got a daughter. Not even her, can take away my peace. I'll
Oh,
separate from her, in a heartbeat to get my peace. I'm gonna separate from anything. I'm not too attached to anything because I understand, what the physical world is. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I think it is. For example, like my mom, like, I ain't grow up with my mom. You know what I'm saying? But I still grew up to be a man, right? I still, have a relationship with her, just like somebody that grew up with the mom. You know, yeah, it's certain things, if I grew up with her, that could have been differently. But at the end of the day, I think, things went exactly the way it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, supposed to go. For
yep.
real.
You probably love your mother more than I loved mine because, when you grow up around a dysfunctional, crazy ass bitch, it would have been better had I met her later and all that damage wasn't done to me throughout my beginnings of my life until then.
Yeah, I had to
So,
find my inner peace at a young age as well, and hold on.
oh,
You know.
I was
Okay,
trying.
guys. On that positive note, keep your inner peace. You know,
Yes.
Until next time.
that's the key, man.
Till next
All
time,
right.
love that
Much love to
peaceful
you all. Thank
ground.
you for coming up, guys. Appreciate
Yes,
Much
your
thank
love.
input.
you. Much love.
Much love.
Till next
Much
time.
love to all. Until next time.
Bye bye.